Welcome to our presentation on box-level active detection, which aims to improve object detection efficiency via active learning. We first review the pitfalls of image-level evaluation and propose a realistic and fair box-level evaluation criterion. We then advocate a box-level protocol that prioritizes top-ranked targets for annotation, and meanwhile discuss well-learned counterparts to avoid label waste and redundancy. Under the proposed box-level setting, we devise a novel pipeline, namely complementary pseudo-active strategy, that is COMPASS. It exploits both human annotations and the model intelligence in a complementary fashion. An efficient input and committee queries labels for informative objects only. Meanwhile, well-learned counterparts are identified by the model and compensated with pseudo-labels. We implemented more than 10 active detection baselines and SOTAs in a unified codebase, and COMPASS consistently outperforms competitors under 4 settings. Let's look at box-level active detection in more details. Active learning iterates over detector training, performance evaluation, informative target acquisition, and human annotation. When it is applied to the detection task, previous methods still consider the subject of interest at the image level during evaluation and annotation. On the one hand, the image-level evaluation assumes equal budget for every image. However, in real-world use cases, the workload of annotators is measured by bounding boxes. As the image-level budget fails to reflect actual box-based costs, active detection methods are allowed to obscurely gain an advantage by querying box supervisions as much as possible. With this in mind, our hacking method, box count, easily surpasses all elaborately designed methods in the left figure, demonstrating the unfairness of image-level evaluation. Thus, we advocate a more practical and unbiased criterion that controls the amount of queried boxes per cycle, as illustrated in the right figure. In this figure, we also empirically find that multi-model methods work the best. On the other hand, during the human annotation process, performing image-level exhaustive annotation is wasteful, since the informativeness of different targets in the same image can vary sharply. As a result, annotating all instances as equals leads to a waste of resources and redundant annotations. Thus, we suggest a box-level protocol that prioritizes top-ranked targets for annotation and discards well-learned counterparts to avoid redundancy, so that budget can be concentrated on the most valuable targets, and it can help narrow down the search space for annotators. Under the proposed framework, we develop a novel and efficient method, namely complementary pseudo-active strategy, that is COMPASS. It seamlessly integrates human efforts with model intelligence in actively acquiring informative targets via an input and committee, and meantime remedying the annotation of well-learned counterparts using online pseudo-labels. We have found that multi-model methods, for example, MC dropout, work accurately and robustly, but directly adapting them to detection is costly in both model committee construction and box hypothesis ensemble. Therefore, we construct an impotent committee during the sampling stage, so that variations are drawn from ubiquitous data augmentation instead of parameter replication. To avoid performing pairwise label assignment among box predictions, the result ensemble is achieved by analyzing the disagreement between predictions of a weakly augmented reference and strongly augmented member predictions. After committee construction, disagreement for classification and localization is estimated for each target. We measure the classification disagreement based on the cross-entropy between the one-hot reference prediction and the posterior predictive member distributions. For localization, the disagreement is quantified by the standard deviation of box coordinates. Overall, our scoring function considers both subtasks and rank all reference boxes for unlabeled regions. However, actively annotating challenging targets leads to severe label absence of confidence objects. It will provide incorrect supervision signals if not properly handled. We find that pseudo-label generation complementary to it, where targets with confident predictions are kept for self-training, while challenging targets with uncertain predictions are filtered out. Thus, we exploit sparsely labeled images via the pseudo-active synergy. If unlabeled images are also available during training, we can optionally generate pseudo-labels for them to boost performance. Compass leverages both human brainpower and machine intelligence. It frees object detectors from image-level exhaustive annotations and greatly reduces labor costs. For fair evaluation, we provide a unified codebase with implementations of more than 10 active detection baselines and SOTES. Under both labeled-only and unlabeled involved supervision settings, on 2 detection benchmarks, Compass outperforms competitors by a large margin. The violin plot demonstrates the label redundancy of image-level annotation method and the label efficiency of our proposed Compass, while image-level mean entropy method shows a long-tail phenomenon in the squirrel distributions of newly acquired images. Our box-level compass actively annotates valuable targets and leaves the rest unlabeled. Our hybrid scoring function prioritizes targets challenging in both classification and localization, which are highlighted in green. Meantime, blue pseudo-labels play a complementary role. We find that most of the targets can be covered by the pseudo-active synergy, and the quality of pseudo-labels gets better across active learning cycles. Thank you very much for your attention.